installation of RamanLab. I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible, but I'm going to do it in real time so you can see how long it takes and that you can follow along as well. The only thing I'm not going to do in real time is install Anaconda. So this is where you get it, the Conda Python environment, and you want to go to www.anaconda.com. It's a free download. You may have to give an email address, but it's a very nice environment. This is the one I use, so I strongly suggest it. So go to free download, pick your operating system, your chipset, and go from there. So pause the video while you do that. When you come back, and that's all done, you want to launch Anaconda. So Anaconda. All right, that's not it. For some reason, Spotlight doesn't like it, so I'm gonna launch it from my toolbar. And the first thing that you're gonna see when you launch it is a bunch of programs, and these are just helpful for different kinds of Python programming. But we're wanting to go into the Environments tab here on the left, and I already have a RamanLab environment installed because I've done this like 5 times already before I got to this point. I'm going to remove that one. I forgot to remove it before the video started. Come on. Remove. Yes, remove. And I have other ones here. I have one that's a base one. That's probably the only one that you'll see is the base or root one. Pine 9 is another environment I was using for other kinds of programming. G2 Full is for the GSAS suite, Brian Toby's refilled refinement software. And once this is done, get to base, and once that circle is over with, we're going to launch the either terminal or command prompt depending on operation system. So I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to open with terminal. Yours might say command prompt. Okay, and usually it'll load up in kind of the user root directory. Now we need to start the installation process. So now I'm going to just minimize that. I'm going to go to the README file on the RamanLab page. So if you're not there, go there right now. Pause. I'll wait for you. Okay, that's enough waiting. And we're going to just work our way through this Get RamanLab Quick Start guide. So I'm just copying one line at a time. Copy that and then paste it over here. I'll get rid of this other one. Just paste it. And this is going to create that RamanLab environment. And this is an essential step. It's not essential, but I think it's essential in that this environment is completely separate from the other Python environments. All the packages you install, all the packages you update, things like that, that all stays within this environment. So if you're in another environment and you install updates to packages, it won't affect this one. That is actually a good thing that keeps them separate, because sometimes when you update, it can break the software. Okay, then we need to activate that. So the next one over here is activate it, and that'll put us into the RamanLab root. You can go back again. You can just say conda activate base or conda deactivate, and that will put you back in the base. So now we're in that environment. Now, while we're in that environment, we need to pull all the code from the GitHub page, and RamanLab already exists. Oh, that's because I've done it a bunch of times. So this will then install all the code that you want. So it should just populate and you should see things coming in, but I've done it like 3 or 4 times already. Okay, let's change to the directory. Now we need to install all the dependencies. So this is the requirements file. Again, it's just installing all the requirements. Let's see if all mine are installed. No, because I deleted the environment before. So now I have to reinstall all the dependencies. The longest one of these it's going to take is probably PySide. And PySide is the graphical user interface environment that I use for all the programming. There's a lot of widgets and colors and things like that, and graphic related material that it needs to install. So it's going through and doing that. All right, now it's doing Plotly. Plotly is a plotting extension. Scikit-learn, that is also a science extension for peak fitting and whatnot. All right, everything installed. Depending on speed of your system, that may or may not take a while. That didn't take very long for me. Let's just check the dependencies. And this is, I didn't see any errors pop up, so I have no reason to think that things didn't get installed correctly. But if something went wrong, this is where you can find out if something went wrong. So it didn't install PyQt6 because I'm not using it, and we want to make sure that PySide6 is installed, and that's good. So anytime you see a checkbox, it should make you feel good, knowing that everything is working correctly. And it's just going through one by one all of these, and it tells you what the dependency is supposed to be doing. So NumPy for numerical computation, SciPy for scientific computation, Matplotlib for plotting and visualization, Pandas I use extensively. This is for data management and manipulation. Pandas store databases as pickles, PKL files, and you'll see that a lot. And PyInstaller, standalone executable creation, I tried doing that, but it's just a pain. So I just let's not do that. MC is for Bayesian analysis, a little bit more advanced work. We can install those later. And TensorFlow is also for a very small part of the code that you probably won't use. Okay, it's all done. So now let's launch it. So you can always come back to this directory and just type that into the terminal or PowerShell, and we'll launch. And this is what you'll get. If you don't want to do that every time, you should move on to the next step. Step number 6 installs a desktop icon. And if you're Windows, it installs it into the application bar at the bottom. So just copy that and paste it as the next step. Oh, I gotta close out. Close that out. Let's install this, and then you will see either a desktop icon, or it's in your applications folder, or it's in your Windows toolbar. Just go and look for it. And that's it. Now I have 3 RamanLab installations on my toolbar. And that's it. And then you just click on that to launch RamanLab. I don't know why Zoom popped up. So you don't see it, but it's bouncing in the bottom of my toolbar. And yes, you want to allow Python to access your documents so that you can import files in. So that's it. That's the installation. The next video will be on how to work through this the first part of the software.